Hello there, I'm Little Sparrow and this is our first video. So it's probably going to be a bit dodgy, a bit stilted, and we're not quite sure what we're doing, so just bear with us. So we'd like to tell you about our company Little Sparrows, what we stand for, what we do and how we came to be. So, for many years I am the founder of Little Sparrows. For many years I've been very, very sick. Very, very sick. In fact, at one point they thought I had multiple sclerosis. I didn't, I only was a celiac, but it took a long, long time for them to diagnose what was wrong with me. I also have massive spinal injuries and neck injuries and something called pain-induced fainting disorder, which is not very good, and you can just faint at the drop of a hat, really. It's when the pain in my neck gets so bad that I can't barely think straight and I just black out, which is not fun, especially not for my family. They all think I should be walking around with a crash helmet on. So, for many years I was very, very sick, and 9 years ago the true extent of my spinal injuries was found through a CAT scan, and the base of my spine is all twisted. My coccyx is actually pushing out the wrong way, so you can actually feel it through my skin, which is very, very uncomfortable. Also, I have nerve damage, tissue damage, pelvic damage, and many, many other things that we don't really need to go into. But I had an operation on my spine and it went wrong. They went too high and damaged more discs. Because most of my discs are actually scar tissue, they're not actually discs at all. So many people are actually quite surprised I'm still walking. I'm very surprised most of the time I can still walk. But I think a lot of that is to do with my stubbornness, to be honest. So, years ago I went to the doctor and I was prescribed something called diclofenac, sodium and dihydrocodeine to deal with the pain after the damage of the operation. They told me that the operation would either heal me or make it worse, and sadly it made it worse, much, much worse. So for years I've been on these tablets, for at least 9 years. And for years, like I said, I have been very, very ill. But we put it down to many, many things. So I moved to Scotland 3 years ago. Before then I was having terrible, terrible anxiety issues, terrible kidney problems, chest problems, severe, severe anemia. So much so that I was nearly hospitalised on many occasions to have blood transfusions, but I refused. And I used a natural healing product to help bring my iron levels back up. So I moved to Scotland and the doctors here were amazing and discovered that I was actually a celiac. That was all that was wrong. So I stopped taking wheat, gluten, rye, barley, but that led to other allergies like dairy, sugar, caffeine, etc. I'm now on what's known as the AIP diet, which means Autoimmune Paleo Protocol. So I can't eat a lot of different things. But even after all that, I was still very, very sick. It did improve a little bit, some of the digestive issues and many other things like the head fog, but nothing else really. So I kept getting a rash, and it was a very strange rash, and every time I went to the doctors they kind of sort of dismissed me, saying, oh well, you know what you're like, Little Sparrow, what have you eaten this time? And most of the time I hadn't actually deviated off my AIP diet, so I couldn't understand why I was getting all this rash. And it kept coming and coming, and I still had very bad digestive problems. I was reacting to food within minutes. I mean, one time I could eat prawns, no problem, but this last few months I had a prawn, and within 20 minutes I was reacting to the prawn. So I kept going back to the doctors and kept going back to the doctors, and they kept dismissing me, saying, well, don't eat it. But there was never really an answer. They even sent me up to Glasgow Hospital, as we were on the west coast of Scotland, to try to find the answers to all these issues, all these allergies that I was having, all these rashes and all these strange things. There was a waste of time going to the hospital. She had no answers for me either. So when I came back, I was even more miserable. And this time, I was really, really sick. And 7 months ago, I was so sick I actually nearly died. The doctors had missed all the vital signs of ibuprofen poisoning and severe allergy to ibuprofen. And that week was one of the worst weeks of my life. I started out with this rash, and it was like little pinpricks at first. It wasn't very noticeable really on my legs, but you could just see it was there. But over the week, it got worse and worse and worse. It looked like I'd literally been scalded in hot water all over my legs and my arms and my back. Like someone had physically scalded me. And also this week, I was also having terrible monthly menstrual problems also. And I was bleeding so heavily, I was fainting from the blood loss. I also had chest issues because that's what happens apparently when you lose a lot of blood. I didn't know. So 3 times that week I went to the doctor. The first 2 times he just dismissed me and just said, it's something you've eaten. Don't worry about it, it will fade. The second time I went to the doctor with the menstrual problems and the rash, he just dismissed me again. Just said, it's one of those things. You are a woman, these things will happen. The third time I went back, by this point I was desperate, I was so ill. I honestly felt I was dying, and little did I know I actually really was dying. So I went back to the doctor. The rash was so bad, I was so scalded. It was so painful, this rash, and whatever I put on it just seemed to make it more inflamed. I was so desperate. I went into the doctor, and he took one look at my rash and looked at me and just dismissed it, but this time I stood firm. I said, will you please look at my rash? He says, it's something you've eaten, you know what you're like. I said, will you please look at my rash? And he still didn't listen, so I said, will you fucking look at my rash? And he did. He actually took notice of it for the first time ever and said, oh my God, that's an ibuprofen rash, you're about to die. You have to get off this now, or you will die in 3 days. He said, I'm so surprised you're not bleeding out from your stomach. Well, I came home. One of my adopted mummies was here, she was waiting for me. And I just sobbed. I didn't know what to do. I was so tired from the blood loss. I was so tired, and from the rash, I was in such a mess. So, I phoned up one of my friends. She is my very best friend, and she lives in New Zealand, and she's a herbal doctor. And for years she's been telling me about CBD, and I've always dismissed it, thinking, no. But this time I really listened to what she had to say. I really sort of grasped the concept of what she was trying to say, because I didn't want to get high, and CBD does not get you high one bit, not at all. It does not contain any THC whatsoever. So the next day, we'd ordered a vape and some e-liquid with CBD. And the doctor had said that it'll be a very hard process coming off the diclofenac sodium and dropping down the dihydrocodeine, because that was also causing me issues. So the first day, nothing. I was fine. In fact, I was actually feeling better than I had done in a long time. There was no stomach issues. There was no pain really. It was very weird. So I phoned my friend again, and I wanted to know more. And she's a herbal doctor. She taught me how to make it, how to dose it, what to do, how to use it with different medical problems. I brought so many books about it. I learned so much as I could absorb about this wonderful product, this wonderful herbal product. And by the second week of being on it, I was in the kitchen one day. Now you have to bear in mind that I have massive spinal injuries, neck injuries, pelvic injuries, many things wrong with me. And I actually remember saying to Big Sparrow, because I stood still for quite a while, and he said, what's wrong? I said, this is the first day I've never felt pain in 9 years. And it was kind of like a huge revelation. It made me realise that there was always hope, because I really, honestly, nearly gave up. I didn't know what to do. So, I started to make CBD products for others. And then we decided to sell it at a reasonable price that people can afford, because we've seen so many other companies sell astronomical prices for just tiny little things. No one should be without this if they truly do need it. And we wanted to be reasonable. We wanted to make sure that everybody who needs it gets it and doesn't have to worry about the price of it. mean, when I first started on CBD, I was just distraught at it. How on earth can people afford £200 just for 10ml syringe? It made no sense. And then we started to sell it. We don't have a lot of a customer base right now because we've always been quite under the radar. We don't really, well, we didn't really want to be known. We just wanted to do this sort of not underhanded, but under the radar, so we could get as much help out there as possible without being seen. Because of the laws that were changing, we had no idea what was going on. But now we are part of the Cannabis Trade Association of the UK. We come under their banner, so we're all fully above board. We're also part of the International Holistic Healing Alliance. And we are doing our very, very best to get our name out there, because we know we don't have to hide anymore. So our ethos is organic. We use as much organic CBD, organic coconut oil, organic olive oil, whatever we can get our hands on that's organic we will use. All our CBD is at 4%, which is quite high, I suppose. It works very well. We know you can get higher, but we think 4% is good enough. We also try to source it from very, very good reliable sources. The strain we use is known as vanilla. Vanilla is the main go-to one that the medicine company uses. So we knew we were on the right track. We just wanted people to know who we are and why we do this. I do this because I want to help people who are like me, who thought there was no hope, there was no choice, but there always is. You can take your health back. You can be in charge of it. Doctors, they do their best, but you know your own body. You know what's going on in there. No one else does. We just hope that when you find another medicine, I suppose, or another herbal remedy to take, that you are doing the right thing for your body. The amount of destruction that the diclofenac sodium caused in me, including menstrual problems, it really affects your womb, and I had no idea. Menstrual problems, serious health issues. They shouldn't have put me on it for 9 years and not checked. You're only supposed to be on diclofenac sodium for up to a month, that's it. Not for 9 years. The damage will take many, many years to recover from. It's okay, I understand this, and I'm working my way towards that. But with the CBD and the turmeric that I take and many other wonderful herbal things, I'm slowly starting to get there, and I know I will get there in the end. So our ethos is, food supplements shouldn't have to cost the earth. You are in charge of your body, you are in charge of your health. And you do deserve the very best life you can have. This is all we wanted to say. I'm Little Sparrow, and I'm here to help you. If you need any advice, just email us or contact us on our Facebook page, and we'll do our very best to help you. Thank you.